chess, nonsense, and analysis.
Yes, Watu, here we are back at it again. How have
Yes.
you been?
No, I've been good. I've been good. I've been very good. I've been following some there's been a lot of chess going on, and and so on. I know you played League, yeah, which was good to see.
Yes.
At some point, you need to share those games,
Okay.
And how have you been as well?
Yeah, things have been going well. I only played one league game as of yet, so I don't have much
Uh-huh.
material to show yet, but I'm keen to see some of the viewers' games as well. So if anyone wants to send more games, please feel free to
Absolutely.
do so, ladies and gentlemen. But
Yeah.
But now I've noticed there's been some international players or play by South Africans. So some interesting tournaments. And I don't know about you. I actually want to jump over to the chessboard and check
Let's
out
go.
some interesting, uh, at least one interesting game for today. I saw something from
Yes.
Mr. Simpson. In what tournament was that?
Right.
What that they played in? Was it in the UAE or where?
They played a tournament in the UAE. I'm trying to figure out to remember the name. It was okay. I'll
It's the
tell you. It was
Fujai
it's
something.
the Fujairah. It's the Fujairah
Fujairah.
Global
Yeah.
2025. Did you notice that they had a number of sections, right? They had
Yes. I think
the top
Simpson
section.
was playing in they call it the master section. But there's a
Yes,
higher section that's called the super masters or something like this.
exactly.
Yeah.
The higher section was, you had the Ivanchuk's playing. It was won by an Indian GM, and it was won by an Indian GM, a strong GM, and but we're focusing on the Masters. Did
Yeah.
you follow a little bit?
Yes, I did follow slightly, especially because you covered also a bit, right? So I noticed Samson was playing in this one, and of course our Levertons from South Africa were also playing. We've got Caleb and Judah Leverton that also played in that event. So those were the
Yes,
South Africans that I noticed there, and of course also Banele was playing in Portugal. I believe you also covered a game from that event.
exactly.
Um, so
So,
some of our top
you know what
players
I think
being
we should
active.
do? We will talk about the exactly. I think we should talk about how it went, but let's go into the game and we'll pause and then talk about, the rest of the game, right?
Yep.
Or rather the maybe not the games, but the performances rather. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I mean, we spotted this game by Michael Simpson. Michael, of course, full of energy, just got his IM title recently, and I think it's perfect timing for him to be playing overseas. Just to get some more experience, and so I spotted this game where he was playing 2300. And Michael's I think he's quite versatile, playing E4 and D4. And his preparation seems to be good as well, because here he goes into a very sharp line where black goes check, and he plays this pawn sacrifice. So there's an interesting
Right.
one. I've
You know
seen
what,
this so
Kelvin?
much. Yes, what's your thoughts, Watu?
Yeah, isn't this called the Marshall Gambit, right?
I didn't even know it's called the Marshall Gambit.
It is. It's called the
Ah,
Marshall Gambit, yeah. And but what I noticed is that I feel that this game went well for Michael because he had good preparation, and as we'll see later, the opponent didn't even play the most critical move. But talking about the other South Africans, did you see Banele's performance? He played in Portugal,
hmm,
right?
yep.
He played in Portugal. Did you follow a little bit of that?
I did check afterward. I wasn't following live, but
Hmm.
afterward I checked because I mean, Banele played I think one or two strong grandmasters there, and I think at the end
Exactly.
of the event, he actually gained some rating points. So
He did gain. He did
overall, I
gain.
think
He lost.
he must be happy with always going overseas and gaining some points. That's good.
No, definitely. But look, he lost two games, King's Indian, in the King's Indian with black against Postny and Kurevich. And uh, I think he didn't do his homework that well because he was kind of under pressure theoretically. He chose
Yeah.
some not mainline and got himself into some trouble. So let's hope he learns from that and is much more theoretical next time,
Yeah, it's
or at
rough.
least
It's
during the
rough.
fight.
It's rough playing. Sorry, what for cutting. It's rough playing the Kings Indian
No
against
problem.
such high level players. You could really got to know your stuff. Either you are just tactically, you must be like a Nakamura or Wati, or you need to be very theoretical. So it's not easy um, going at it against these top players with the Kings Indian defense. So you got to know your stuff. Um, what's the best thing to do though? If you are young, should you continue with that, or should you play something a bit more solid when you go overseas? I mean, Banele can get away with not say get away, but he can play these openings in South Africa easily because he's one of the best players he has. Yeah, but going
Yeah.
up against 2600 level players, what's the best way to go? Is there a one specific route, or does it depend?
I think it depends. For me, I think, Kelvin, let's put it this way. It comes down to how much time you have to practice chess every day, right?
Yeah,
Right. If you don't have a lot of time, which is I think many of the top players in South Africa, uh, then I believe that you should play very, very theoretically, follow the latest theory, but just know it and analyze the lines that are being played and keep an eye out whenever it's played, and that's it. But I think, if you have time, you can take sidelines and old lines and work very hard with them, play practice games, do this and that, analyze, play blitz on with them, and create a weapon, you know.
especially
If you don't,
nowadays. Especially nowadays with
exactly,
when people are just buying chessable courses and following main lines and stuff. There's some value playing some sidelines and knowing it really well, right?
that's the point. Playing sidelines, knowing them very well, but that cannot be your only way out. You need to do that, but you also need to know main line solid stuff like Nimzo Indian against D4 or Slav or Queen's Gambit declined or accepted,
Yeah.
right? So that sometimes you are tired, you don't have energy to prepare. You can just put a position that is well known against a very strong player and say, what are you going to do against that? You
Yeah.
know what? Interestingly enough, uh, I remember there was an Olympiad where Kenny was playing board one, and he played. We played against Azerbaijan, and Kenny played against Mehmet Yarov with the black pieces, right? And Kenny played the Queen's Gambit declined against Mehmet Yarov. I mean, we talk about 27, 60 something players,
Yeah.
guy in the top five
Yeah.
of the world, right? And Mehmet Yarov, because remember the player at that level plays against himself as well, because he's
Yes.
thinking about lines and he's thinking about, yes, because when you go in, you may not know all the secrets, but he knows them.
Yes.
And so he's not so he was very reluctant. He was spending up time. He was stressing. He was, and Kenny managed to draw the game with the black pieces relatively easily, So yeah, that is what it is. I
Yeah.
mean, what is your approach? What approach have you been taking whenever you play overseas, Kevin?
Well, first of all, I remember that result of Kenya against Mamadira. For that was round one, right at the Olympiad. I wasn't at that one, but that
Yes.
was lovely to see from a South African result perspective. Yeah, when it comes to overseas, I don't know. I tend to think that you need to be really well prepared. You need to, when once you get to the tournament, you should probably know your openings that well so that you don't need to still do extra preparation. So you need to do the work at home. And when it comes to the specific openings, yeah, I guess it also depends on the opponent. If you are playing at 26, 2700, then you feel more pressure to be accurate and to play an opening like the King's Indian defense seems more difficult to me. I would rather go into something like you said, like a Queen's Gambit declined, but that's my preference. On the other hand, you can also go look at it from a point of view. Okay, you're playing a strong player. You don't want to do a technical battle against them. You want to take them into some murky water, and it could work out as well in that sense. But you got to do something that the computers didn't already approve or disapprove. So from your opponent's point of view, so you got to do something unique if you are going to go into this well-trodden paths. So I don't know what's the correct way. It is, like you said, it depends on the player. I can say though, looking at how players have changed, maybe you know a bit better what because you were playing with him at the time at the Olympiad. For some reason, Mabusela comes to mind. I know that he was very much okay when I grew up. He was already quite strong, and then he made the Olympia team. And I think he was an E4 player. But when I saw him play at Olympia, then he was playing D4. So I don't know if he did that deliberately to solidify his play or what the case was. But it seemed to me like that was a conscious decision that he made to change his play at this level, international level. Yeah, I don't know. You I guess you got to know yourself. But my main thing is if I'm not very well prepared opening wise, then I'm not confident playing overseas because they can rip you apart if you don't know what you are doing, basically.
Absolutely.
So yeah, but so I think maybe Banele needs to contemplate what to do with this King's Indian defense. He can just maybe put in a lot of hours or maybe add another solid thing to his repertoire. But on the other hand, we see Simpson as well. Simpson, I think, displayed some good preparation in these games. I think he
was well prepared in this game, right?
In this game, and I think Simpson beat 2300s, if I'm not mistaken, in this event. So I think he had a good tournament overall. And then
recovered well, yeah. He started off not so well, but then recovered.
Yes. Yeah. And then the Leviton brothers, how did they do? I think they were struggling at the beginning of the tournament. How was their overall performances, Watu?
They lost a lot of points, but I think I found out that actually Caleb was ill in the beginning of the event, which explains a lot of things because he was doing a lot of things that were not, shall we say, typical of him, of his style. So we can understand that he was ill in the beginning, and then he only got better midway,
Okay, and, so he stabilized at least a bit.
So didn't manage to bounce back. So it's understandable.
Yeah, and look, these things happen. I think, especially when you're that young, you need to take the knocks and get back up. I'm sure Caleb will be back. He's already displayed a lot of great performances and potential. So we're looking forward to seeing him bounce back in the next one. So
absolutely.
But it's really good to see that the SA players are active overseas, Watu. So let's see. So shall we have a look at this game? Let's continue with this one. Michael was playing against a 2300 rated player, knight a6.
So the opponent plays knight a6. So the main problem for black is that black is not able to, black has taken a pawn but not able to castle easily, right? So the black squares are completely weak, and black must find a way to neutralize this, right? So bishop d6. I think this is still theory. Queen takes g2, queen d2, And what do you think about this position now, Kelvin?
Well, I mean, yeah, like I said, I don't have a clue about this theory here, but my first question is, okay, so why not queen takes rook here? Okay, his opponent didn't take, right? I'm just gonna ask the dumb
Yeah,
question: are we castling and going
probably
for
queen
mate,
g5.
or what's? Oh, wait! The bishop's protecting h2, so we can. But the knight, we need to castle first and then threaten this, or what? Why is black not taking?
Possibly, castling makes a lot of sense.
Castle threatens bishop f3, right? So
Yeah, castles, and then, but okay, the opponent will play queen e4.
castle's queen
Then
e4. We have bishop e5,
another move is
maybe.
queen g5. Queen g5 is also on
Queen
the cards,
g5.
right?
Okay.
To play queen takes g7. Because why I like queen g5 is that you're threatening bishop f3. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I like this.
Okay, this is interesting.
Yeah, because I threaten immediately bishop f3, and
If
I'm
queen
saying to
e4
you
this
what they
time, then you hit with
then I take
queen
on
g7.
g7. Yeah, and I'm threatening queen f8. That
Nice.
seems past.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay,
that
that
should be
makes
good.
sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the opponent doesn't take on h1, but plays bishop d7 though.
Yes.
Looks slightly
But by the
passive.
way, it is passive. By the way, the computer recommendation here is e5 in this position to give the pawn back, but to then be able to play, because bishop takes e5, bishop f5 is quite strong, isn't it?
I mean, the bishop's way better on f5. For the price of that pawn on e6, right? You get a nice bishop compared to the bishop
Exactly.
on d7.
And rook d8 is coming, and so bishop f3, queen g6, and if castle's long, knight c5. And I think that this is a very unclear position, but black is definitely in the game, isn't it?
I mean, black is still technically up a pawn. So, I mean, no need for two. You can take one and free yourself up a bit more. But okay, this
Yeah.
seems like a tense battle. I don't know who's better,
Yeah.
but it will make more
This is
sense with
very,
that.
very tense.
Yeah.
But so the player played bishop d7, very passive, right?
Yeah.
And Michael, though, plays quite impressively here with the initiative. So I'm gonna explain some new nuances for us here, Kevin.
Okay, so long castle, of course. Now the rook is completely off the menu because the bishop f3 just wins the queen since the knight is defended. Knight f6, logical to develop. Bishop f3, the queen has to drop back. White completes the development, and why not on e2, because we can start to look at hassling the queen again. Okay, so knight e4. Probably black needs to do something, right? Does knight e4 really do enough? I don't know, but what's the alternative for black?
It.
Black to castle long?
It. I doubt that 94 is a good move. I mean, I think, for me, logically, you need to try and solve the problem of the queen. If you can solve the problem of the queen, you can possibly hope to survive, yeah?
Yeah.
So, I don't know, maybe something like h5, if possible. Because I want to play if knight, queen h7,
Queen h7?
If knight f4, I may even play queen h6 or queen h7, and just try to get some bit of space. Try to because I feel that my knight on f6 is important to defend d7, and I have a feeling that if I apply classical rules of comparing pieces, I'm feeling that the knight on f6 is contributing more than the bishop on f3. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, so that will be my take on the position. But of course, white is still much better.
Yeah, it's definitely a struggle. Yeah, I can imagine that. I mean, even after a move, let's just say, I mean, these moves are not forced, but something like this,
Mm,
White still needs to
yes,
come up with something here to break through because you don't have the pawns. So you either need to look at some sacrifice or maybe retract the bishop too. But I mean, you are at least asking White to come up with the goods here.
exactly. I'm going to castle and this and that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Uh, yeah.
So, okay, interesting
So
move h5. So black goes 94. It does look a bit dodgy up here. Certainly does.
does does it
Takes,
does?
takes. Knight
I mean,
c3.
you know, Kelvin is taking away. He's the one who's exchanging pieces. You don't have pieces. Your rook is on eight. Your rook is on h8, and you exchange pieces that are important for you. That cannot make sense, no?
And you're helping white develop here. Knight c3,
Nah,
rook g1.
cannot.
So,
Mm,
okay, finally he castles long. After that, bit of a suspicious trade on e4.
hmm
And I think Michael just takes full advantage here. He plays some nice active chess here. Rook g5, hitting the
I
queen
like
cut
rook
again.
g5. Hmm
Queen f6. Bishop e5, hitting the queen again. Queen f3. And he's chasing the queen here. Queen f5, rook g5. And of course, black would be quite happy to repeat. And yeah, the youngster shows some ambition here. Continues with rook takes g7.
hmm
Black protects the f7 pawn. Bishop g3. What do we have here? Some queen d6 ideas, or what's happening here?
Um,
Why bishop
Look, the
g3?
problem with black is that he's not able to move, right? Can't move the bishop.
Oof.
And so, what is the threat of bishop g3, the actual threat? Hmm. Is it bishop h4? Yes. So bishop h4 is threatened, yeah?
Okay, okay,
Because you cannot play f6 because I will take on d7, right?
nice.
Hmm
So therefore, queen f6 tries to prevent
hmm
that. And knight e4
Bam!
is
That's what
a
happens. That's what happens to your head when you've missed that that move and you sit on the board. It rings.
yeah,
Boom.
yeah. That must have come to as a shock to his opponent here, right? So expecting the
Exactly.
rook to move perhaps, or to take on
Yeah.
h7 or something. When knight e4 comes with thunder
hmm
and check. King
Oof.
has to step onto the line of fire.
Yes.
And
Double
of
check.
double check, and of course the queen is the culprit in this game, I think, for black. So
Mm,
queen drops, and that's that.
Nice.
So yeah, nice attacking game, nice miniature there by Mr. Simpson, and yeah, quite
You
a
know
potent
what?
victory against 2300 over there.
No, very nice game. And but in passing, I just want to say, there was another youngster who played overseas, right?
Oh yes,
Uh, played, yes, he played a tournament in Italy, and he did okay. I mean, he was beating some 2200s and this and that. But along the way, he played against Grandmaster Kenny Solomon, because Kenny Solomon, of course, Italy is his home now.
yes.
And the game is not available, but we went and we begged the grandmaster to share the game with us so that we could then, watch the game. So the viewers must be on the lookout. We are going to profile that game soon. Rafael Felix against Grandmaster Kenny Solomon
Oh,
in
can't
Italy.
wait, can't wait. You say the
Can't
game
wait.
is not
Can't
available
wait.
anywhere. Okay, so
Yes, so we'll get it from the Grandmaster, and should be very interesting. Yeah.
nice. Okay, so I mean, you want to see that, right? Your young up and coming talents put against the best. So I'm looking forward to see that one.
You know what, Kelvin? It reminds me, I was reading a book by Kasparov, I think Fighting Chess. And Kasparov has written so many good books. It's
Yeah, yeah.
difficult to know where you read, but one of his books. And he was talking about his journey in the Soviet Championship. And he said that I don't know who was talking to him. And the guy was saying, yeah, but you gotta go through old hands, this experience, like, old grandmasters and stuff. That's where you get your real strength
Yeah.
because if you gotta try and attack them, these players, they will evade and this and that, and you gotta try and do this against them. They are so experienced, and after you've been through that, you become even stronger. So that's exactly what I'm saying. So yeah, for Rafael Felix to have played Kenny, he will have if he look, there are many players I have played. I'm sure you've done the same, Kelvin, where you are experienced and then you beat the younger player. And actually, you try even to talk to the younger player to just to share something. But I find the generation today are so arrogant. Me, when I used to play against strong players, win or lose, I wanted to analyze. I wanted to hear their views because there's experience here, and I can learn something. But the young players, they are deceived by the fact that they can press the computer and it spits out moves and this and that. But but the thing is, Kelvin, I always say to my students when they tell me, yeah, but the computer says this, computer says that, I say, but look, the computer. Today, the computer says +2. I'm making an example. Or says this, maybe +2 is too much. Says plus 0.8. The point is, let's take 5 years down the line, right? Let's take
Yeah.
5 years down the line.
Yeah.
The new computer in 5 years' time, will it rubbish the the plus 0.8? The
Not
answer
at
is yes.
Yes, but not at the current
No,
moment when you're watching it, when you're using it.
no, I get you. But what I'm trying to say is that in 5 years' time, there will be a stronger
Of
computer,
course.
much
Of
stronger.
course.
That's what I'm saying. That will then say, no, no, no. What Stockfish is saying now is rubbish, right? And so all I'm trying to say is that yes, the computer is so strong technically, we cannot oppose them, but it's not absolute.
Yeah.
This is what you have to understand. It's not absolute. That's why we keep searching. You
Yeah.
cannot say the computer says this and that's absolute, then this, then you are lost because just a few months there'll be a stronger computer.
Yeah.
And all that the strong players say, I'm talking about the top at the world, that when a computer comes, they have to reevaluate all their analysis, all of it.
Yeah.
Everything they analyze, they have to reevaluate because then a lot of it, if a new computer comes, a lot of it belongs to the dustbin.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
this is what so you cannot trust the computer. It's better to trust an experienced player to teach you something that you will keep forever.
Nicely
So
put, Watu.
let's hope that Rafael did analyze with Kenny and so on, and then he took that experience. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm sure he did, and I'm sure he's going to take that with him. And yeah, no, I like what you said there, Watu. It kind of reminds me of one of my friends. You also know him, Lance. He always says that when he's in touch or get to talk to someone that's really stronger than him, you always want to know. You kind of just want to know what this person does, what this person eats, just anything. Right? You just need to know what they do so that you can at least absorb something from them. So
May I
it's
tell you
important.
something? May I tell you something on that? It
Yeah,
just
yeah,
reminds me something. By the way, the viewers might find this funny.
yeah, yeah.
I was talking to one grandmaster, Latvian and then Israeli later,
Okay,
Leonid Goffstein.
okay,
And I was playing some tournament in Spain and I was talking to Goffstein and we were just talking. And he said that at one stage he was coaching Alexei Shirov, when Shirov was still a youngster and he was older. So the sessions. And
yeah,
he says Shirov's dad came, so Shirov had to come to his flat, for the session,
okay,
for these sessions.
okay,
And he says his dad used to come to his flat. True story. He says he would open the fridge, to see what he eats. He wanted, the whole picture. So
Yeah.
exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
He wanted to, for sure, to aspire to this
Yes.
level. So he
Yeah.
was looking at the fridge. He says he was asking, may I look at your fridge? And he says, go ahead. He's looking at the fridge,
Sure.
what do strong players eat,
Yeah. Maybe you'll find a novelty somewhere in the fridge.
somewhere.
Yeah. 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 No, no, definitely. And with that mindset, you'll definitely absorb anything that comes your way, anything good. So, anyways, yeah. So we're looking forward to that game.
Yes.
And yeah, thanks to the viewers as always for supporting, for subscribing. If you haven't yet subscribed, go ahead and smash that button and share with your colleagues and buddies. And yeah, thanks, Watu, as always. And we will see you for the next one. Cheers.
Absolutely.